안녕하세요. 아시아경제TV 코인인터뷰입니다. 저는 진행을 맡은 현규림입니다. 네, 오늘 코인 인터뷰를 찾아주신 게스트는요, 중국 DCC의 스투이저우 대표님입니다. 안녕하세요. Welcome.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much.
I heard that you just arrived in Seoul. How was your flight?
Yeah, oh, well, it was really intense. Yeah, I flied like 70 cities in last week.
Wow.
Yeah, so this is my final destination.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's good to hear that.
Yeah.
Thank you. Before we dive into the interview, please briefly introduce yourself to our viewers.
Okay, sure. I'm serial entrepreneur, and I was study at Yale University at 2008. And that year was the 2008 financial crisis. So when I graduated, I was sort of unemployed.
Oh.
Then I have to choose my career to be a financial economist. So I went to Oxford University.
Wow,
to,
gorgeous.
Yeah, to start my master degree.
So brilliant.
Yeah, and after that I went to London School of Economics to do my PhD in finance. But I was sort of like brainwashed by all those entrepreneur books like Steve Jobs, Warren Buffett, like Jack Ma,
Wow.
the founder of Alibaba in China. So I chose to quit my PhD study at the third year. And I came back to my home country, China, to create my own startup, which is the 2015. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, and at that time, it was I chose to work on an area called the fintech. So at that time, it was like from between the early stage to the middle stage of that industry. But at that time, they were sort of small, but now they're all listed companies in NYSE and NASDAQ. So my company was doing the SaaS, like software as a service, and in which we provide the technology services for all those micro lending platforms and small cash loan platforms in China. And our customers are companies like licensed financial institutions like trust companies, banks, as well as those like micro lending platforms. So I sold that company last year for about 180 million US dollars. And I was sort of like cashed out. And as you can see, DCC is actually my second projects, and it is my second company. Yeah, so I'm
Interesting.
Yeah, that is a brief history about me. Yeah.
Thank you. Then, what does DCC stand for?
It stands for the decentralized credit chain. So basically, DCC is we try to establish a decentralized credit economy, which not go against, but it's another form of the credit ecosystem, which is decentralized. So in this system, we transport all the financial credit information in a brand new way. So it's a brand new telecom network for all the financial credit data. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. I don't know, what is distributed banking system? Can you describe it more detail?
Yeah. Okay. So basically, so distributed banking is one word. It's not like two words. So distributed banking is a new way of transporting all those financial credit data. Financial data is sort of like more, important because it matters our life.
Yes.
Is in a lot of different ways.
Indeed.
So, for example, in a traditional centralized banking system, so we have a lot of like data ownership problems. But you can see there are already a lot of like data leaking problems, even like the moral hazard problems within those centralized financial institutions. So how do we solve this problem? So actually, a lot of people are trying to talking about it. So for me, it's actually touching the very central part of the whole, credit system. So I think that blockchain as a technology actually sort of provide an ultimate solution to that, credit problem. So that's why after like years of industry experiences, I mean, being an entrepreneur in fintech industry. As like years of experience studying finance as a PhD student, now I found with that tool, blockchain, we can finally maybe to have an ultimate answer to solve that. That's why I create this decentralized credit ecosystem. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Thank you. Then, as you mentioned before, what are the key problems with the current financial industry?
Oh yeah, they have a lot of problems, as we all know.
Yeah,
like for example, the transaction fee is very high. So for example, when you swipe a credit card, like this afternoon, I bought a pair of shoes. I use a credit card. I know they're charging me because that kind of thing existing so long in our human life, right?
Yes, right.
But did you know when you ever apply a loan or micro loan online, how much they charge? Normally people don't calculate.
Yeah.
Because for example, I kind of, in that case, you actually pay 5 different kinds of fees. You're paying the third-way payment, like a third-party payment. It's like the online payment system. You're paying the tool. You're paying the online trafficking directing fees for those online lending platform. You're paying the money that you're actually pay the money to buy your own data and send the data to those platforms to let them to verify whether you are qualified for a loan or not.
Yes.
So you're paying for your own data. You're paying for all the risks, sort of like we'll call the risk redemptions. If someone default, you're paying you're actually paying the money for the default risk. You are paying all the profits those micro lending platforms they're earning. Those platforms they make a lot of money. So for example, in last 4 years, the market of those online micro lending, they grows from 0 to, I remember data would be like 18 trillion or 19 trillion annually outstanding debt. It grows very fast.
Yeah.
So it causes a lot of problems because all the fees they charged, they're like super high.
Yes.
By both those online lending platforms as well as those licensed financial institutions like banks or trust companies who provide the channels of lending to them. So I would say that is the very big problem of all those like banking and as well as the shadow banking system.
Yes.
The second would be the super high interest rate. You can see some parts of countries in the world, like especially in Asia.
Yes.
Like I know we know the shadow banking system in Korea is very big,
Right.
as well as China. So a micro lending company in China would charge as high as 300% interest rate annually, which is a super high amount. I believe like most of those countries with a strong like shadow banking system, they are facing the same problem. So the third would be the privacy. As we always talk about the privacy, like people losing the ownership of their own data. But the data is actually generated from the interactions between you and all those online service providers. But you don't own it; they own it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that is all the problems of the traditional centralized financial system. But we're not saying that we'll try to just get rid of them, because centralized financial institutions, they're more efficient. In this case, like it's a trade-off. So we are trying to find a solution which would solve the most serious problem, as well as protect the efficiency of our current, credit operating system. Yeah.
Thank you. I see. Then how does distributed credit chain resolve these problems?
Okay, so basically, one example would be we build a platform. So everyone joining the platform or the ecosystem, they were going to using our DCC protocol to transport all this credit data. So we're not like a lot of like projects in the blockchain where they're doing the cryptocurrency borrowing and lending. They're good, they're all great companies, but we're not focusing on that because we think to establish a new ecosystem or a new network of those financial credit data transferring protocols, they sort of like touching the core, part of those credit, crisis problem, rather than just providing like a D app in which like people can use that to lend or borrow cryptocurrencies. So we're doing, sort of like different ways.
Yeah,
the business of credit, the business line is very long. So you would have those online traffic directing firms onto the platform. You would have the companies who are like providing the something called something like the AI-based risk control algorithm companies on the platform. You would have those big data collection companies on the platform. You would have those companies who are doing the what we call the risk reconstructing, companies like those companies who are doing the ABS evaluating stuff like that on the. So you got different parties in the business line to join the platform, and every one of them they use the DCC ID to transport the credit data. So by doing this, we are actually transport the data in a more efficient and a safe way.
Actually, I visited your website several times and I noticed that the loan registration service and the facilitating assets securitization are listed in the white paper of DCC as product scenarios. Could you tell us more about these?
Yeah, as I said, we have different scenarios. Like you can do, so those business service providers, they can provide the lending service. They can provide those big data collection services. They can provide those algorithm services. So every service which got involved in the lending business, they can be on our platform. So we will do different things. For example, if a traditional financial institution, they're not quite familiar with the blockchain world, we will help them to just build up their own D app, which of course they're using the DCC ID system. We will also develop our own D app, which would be the cryptocurrency lending D app or the like the crypto version of Credit Karma, things like that. So that is our strategy to make the ecosystem like bigger and bigger. Yeah.
I think credibility is the core foundation of the financial industry.
Yeah.
Although the centralized service brought about the aforementioned problems, wouldn't you consider a distributed system without a specific institution spearheading the transaction riskier?
No. That is a great question, actually.
Yeah.
I personally am a fan of Friedrich Hayek. He's a great American, not American, but Austrian economist, Nobel Prize winner.
Yeah.
So I'm not a fan of Friedman. Yeah, but I don't think it's a problem because talking about the safetiness, there are different angles. Like moral hazard is an angle within even the most stable institutions, like government. So you're not saying like, okay, a centralized institution is safer. Because when you give 100% precision for all these rules and mechanisms, then you got a problem with the human. Who will judge it? And as well as the policy. in a decentralized version, so I understand that people are more scared. But this time is different because it's technology driven. This time, so it's block driven. This trend of, I mean, all those like new company, the apps, they're technology driven. So someone said code is law. I agree with that. But in this case, it is more objective and is more safe. People just need time to investigation the right mechanism, as well as to develop a better, version of, technology or infrastructure to support that.
Yeah, they need time.
Yeah, so time, I would say, is very important. Yeah, 3 to 5 years, we have a better, infrastructures.
Yes.
I don't think it's a problem. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for answering. Yeah, I'm pretty sure DCC is working with a few trusted partners.
Yeah.
Could you tell us more about them?
Oh yeah, we have a lot of partners. Yeah, we have a lot
and advisors too.
Yeah, we have people from academia. We have a lot of advisors from the top school in the world. They're all top economists and financial economists. So we have professors Zhu from Yale, Henry Cao used to work for UCLA. We have
cool.
Yeah, professors from Columbia, and we also form a strategic partnership with Said Business School from Oxford University.
Wow, so talented.
Yeah, in June we will have we will announce that, and we will try to establish more solid academic research relationship with these top schools. We want to produce working papers. We're not just gonna saying like, okay, we make an announcement, that's it. We actually write the working papers. We try to form more theoretical work. We make contributions in that direction to the to this blockchain society. Yeah. So in industry, we have received the strategic partnership with other top blockchain projects. We have the blockchain projects in China, like DeepFin. They're doing the blockchain version of like ABS evaluating work. We have a lot of like strategic partners who was doing the micro lending. We're very successful micro lending firms in Vietnam, Indonesia, countries like that. We have strategic partnership with Juxix. Juxix is the biggest main chain developer in China. Yeah, so yeah, a lot of strategic partnerships with those different players. Yeah.
Thank you. And what is next for DCC? What is your future plan?
Okay, so we actually we launched the 2D apps already. The first one was launched in March, and the second one was launched this month. So far, I think we're doing good. We just finished our pre-sale. So we received a lot of attentions from the venture capital, and as well as token funds. So February, we finished our first fundraising. We raised $17.4 million US. And for pre-sale, we raised about $8.8 million US. So altogether, it's about like $27 million US. And now on Monday, we'll do our crowd sale. So, wow. And when talking about the goal, we want more and more. We want to do the globalization, focusing on that in the next 6 months. And we want more and more strategic partners, such as micro-lending platforms, licensed financial institutions, big data companies, as well as the other strategic partners who are in the credit business in East Asia, South America, to join our ecosystem.
Wow! And
we want to grow our DCC ecosystem to certain level in terms of number of users who are actually using our DCC ID system, yeah, to transfer the financial data and do the lending activity.
You will grow bigger and bigger.
Yeah, that is our goal.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Then what is the mission and vision of DCC?
The mission would be reconstruct the current credit industry, because when we talk about the reason of the centralized financial institutions, we will say like it is like it provides something, you know, but it will change, you know. It is efficient, but so most important changes they bring for our human being, they brought by technology.
Yes.
So I think so this time finance or financial industry, they're facing the biggest challenge or opportunity to change, because blockchain they brings the opportunity to reshape or to solve all these, you know, redundant problems, like credit problems, foreign exchange problems, yeah, in the history. So I think now it is a time, and we're very lucky, because we want to catch the opportunity, you know, to leave our name in the history if we can make it, as well as those very successful projects like Ripple Network. They did it already. Yeah, that is our goal.
네, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
네, 알겠습니다. 오늘 인터뷰에 응해주신 스튜디오 대표님 감사합니다. 코인 인터뷰가 준비한 내용은 여기까지입니다. 저희 코인 인터뷰는 앞으로도 더욱 공정하고 유익한 코인 정보를 제공해드리기 위해 끊임없이 노력하겠습니다. 감사합니다.